and welcome to Nocturnal Transmissions, the fortnightly podcast that brings you dark tales, both old and new, performed by voice artist Kristin Holland. We interrupt this episode for a brief announcement. This episode is a Patreon subscriber exclusive episode. Nevertheless, we will still be sharing this little taster, as it were, with you, our unsubscribed friends of the podcast. Enjoy. By voice artist Kristin Holland. Now, before we get to the matter at hand, and what matter it is, we would like to welcome our latest acolytes to the Nocturnal Transmissions family. Matt Bradshaw, welcome. Phoebe Bryant, welcome. Callista Reed, welcome, and thank you. Way back in October last year, we shared a story with you by William Hope Hodgson, entitled The Seahorses. Now, I know that this tale is a particular favorite amongst some of you out there. We here at Nocturnal Transmissions have long admired this touching, amusing, chilling, and strangely uplifting piece of writing for many years, and were very excited to share it with you. We now share another piece from this very same author. However, if you are anticipating an experience analogous to that elicited by the aforementioned seahorses, I'm afraid this tale is a very different beast indeed. Join us for some monster mayhem in William Hope Hodgson's A Tropical Horror. We are 130 days out from Melbourne, and for 3 weeks we have lain in this sweltering calm. It is midnight and our watch on deck until 4 a.m. I go out and sit on the hatch. A minute later, Jockey, our youngest apprentice, joins me for a chatter. Many are the hours we've sat thus and talked in the night watches, though, to be sure, it is Jockey who does the talking. I am content to smoke and listen, giving an occasional grunt at seasons to show that I am attentive. Jockey has been silent for some time, his head bent in meditation. Suddenly he looks up, evidently with the intention of making some remark. As he does so, I see his face stiffen with a nameless horror. He crouches back, his eyes staring past me at some unseen fear. Then his mouth opens. He gives forth a strangulated cry and topples backward off the hatch, striking his head against the deck. Fearing I know not what, I turn to look. Oh, great heavens! Rising above the bulwarks, seen plainly in the bright moonlight, is a vast, slobbering mouth, a fathom across. From the huge, dripping lips hang great tentacles. As I look, the thing comes further over the rail. It is rising, higher and higher. There are no eyes visible, only that fearful, slobbering mouth, set on the tremendous trunk-like neck, which, even as I watch, is curling inboard with the stealthy celerity of an enormous eel. Over it comes, in vast, heaving folds. Will it never end? The ship gives a slow, sullen roll to starboard as she feels the weight. Then the tail, a broad, flat-shaped mass, slips over the teat rail and falls with a loud slump onto the deck. For a few seconds, the hideous creature lies heaped in writhing, slimy coils. Then, with quick darting movements, the monstrous head travels along the deck. Close by the mainmast stand the harness casks, and alongside of these, a freshly opened cask of salt beef, with the top loosely replaced. The smell of the meat seems to attract the monster, and I can hear it sniffing with a vast indrawing breath. Then, those lips open, displaying 4 huge fangs. There is a quick forward motion of the head, a sudden crashing, crunching sound, and beef and barrel have disappeared. The noise brings one of the ordinary seamen out of the forecastle. Coming into the night, he can see nothing for a moment. Then, as he gets further aft, he sees, and with horrified cries rushes forward. Too late. From the mouth of the thing there flashes forth a long, broad blade of glistening white, set with fierce teeth. I avert my eyes, but cannot shut out the sickening glut that follows. The man on the lookout, attracted by the disturbance, has witnessed the tragedy and flies for refuge into the forecastle, flinging to the heavy iron door after him. The carpenter and sailmaker come running out of the half-deck in their drawers. Seeing the awful thing, they rush aft to the cabin with shouts of fear. The second mate, after one glance over the break of the poop, runs down the companionway with the helmsman after him. I can hear them barring the scuttle, and abruptly, I realize that I am on the main deck, alone. So far I have forgotten my own danger. The past few minutes seem like a portion of an awful dream. Now, however, I comprehend my position, and shaking off the horror that has held me, turn to seek safety. As I do so, my eyes fall upon Jockey, lying huddled and senseless with fright where he has fallen. I cannot leave him there. Close by stands the empty half-deck, a little steel-built house with iron doors. The lee one is hooked open. Once inside, I am safe. Up to the present, the thing has seemed to be unconscious of my presence. Now, however, the huge barrel-like head sways in my direction. Then comes a muffled bellow, and the great tongue flickers in and out as the brute turns and swirls aft to meet me. I know there is not a moment to lose, and picking up the helpless lad, I make a run for the open door. It is only distant a few yards, but that awful shape is coming down the deck to me in great wreathing coils. I reach the house and tumble in with my burden, then out on deck again to unhook and close the door. Even as I do so, something white curls round the end of the house. With a bound, I am inside, and the door is shut and bolted.
Well, there ends our little teaser, I'm afraid. If you'd like to hear the rest of this story and future Patreon subscriber-exclusive episodes, just join up on our Patreon page as a minion, acolyte, or cohort. The choice is entirely yours. Normal services will be resumed in a fortnight's time. We look forward to seeing you then, gentle listener.